Welcome to USA Coin Spot. People are finding these old wheat pennies in their junk drawers and selling them for thousands. Don't miss the chance to cash in before they're gone forever. Top 1. What if I told you that right now, yes, right now, you could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it? Imagine holding a tiny copper coin, barely larger than a button, and realizing it's worth more than your car. More than your rent for the entire year. More than most people make in 6 months. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up. Because in this video, we're diving into one of the most shockingly valuable coins ever minted in the United States. A coin that looks like a regular penny to most people, but is secretly worth a life-changing amount of money. I'm talking about the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Not just any version, though. This is the proof coin. And it's hiding in collections, boxes, old proof sets, forgotten envelopes, waiting to turn someone into a coin millionaire. Let's take a step back. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most iconic U.S. coins ever made. It was first minted in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent. On the front, it features a detailed profile of Abraham Lincoln. On the reverse side, 2 bold wheat ears, standing tall and proud, surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. Now, by 1940, these coins were still being minted in huge numbers. Millions of regular Lincoln Wheat Pennies were produced that year. But the one we're talking about today, the real treasure, is the proof version. What does that mean? Proof coins aren't your average coins. They're not meant to be spent at the grocery store or tossed into vending machines. They're specially made by the U.S. Mint using a unique process that gives them a mirror-like finish and incredibly sharp detail. These coins are made for collectors. And in 1940, only a small number of these proof coins were produced. A tiny number, especially when compared to the millions of regular pennies from that year. Most people have never even seen one. And those that have usually keep them locked away in high-security safes, because they know the truth, these coins are rare. They are beautiful. And they are worth a shocking amount of money. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny proof coin is a hidden gem in the world of American numismatics. And if you're lucky enough to own one, especially one in pristine, uncirculated, proof condition, you could be holding a literal gold mine in the palm of your hand. But here's where it gets really crazy. A recent auction blew the minds of even the most experienced coin collectors. A 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a U.S. Mint proof set, graded in nearly flawless condition, sold for a staggering amount. We're not talking hundreds. We're not talking thousands. We're talking a number so massive, so extreme, that it's hard to even believe it's true. $110,000 to $149,000. Let that sink in. A single penny. A coin with a face value of 1 cent sold for more than some luxury cars. More than some college degrees. More than most people's annual salaries. This isn't some made-up number. This is real. Documented. Verified. A 6-figure payday from a coin that most people wouldn't even look at twice. You might be asking, how can a penny be worth so much? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The 1940 Lincoln proof penny was produced in extremely limited quantities, just a few thousand pieces. And only a tiny handful of those coins still exist in perfect condition today. Collectors go wild over these coins because they're a snapshot of American history. Because they are beautiful. And because they are rare. And when a rare coin hits the auction block, and multiple buyers want it, the prices skyrocket. That's exactly what happened here. So here's the million-dollar question. Do you have one? If you've inherited coins from a relative, if you've bought a proof set from a flea market, or if you've picked up old coins at an estate sale or online auction, check? Check everything. Look for a 1940 penny that stands out. One that shines differently. One that has deep, mirror-like surfaces. That's a dead giveaway for a proof coin. And if you think you might have one, don't sit on it. Don't clean it. Don't mess with it. Get it professionally graded. Certified. Sealed. Because if you're holding the real deal, you could be holding a 6-figure check waiting to happen. Coins like this don't just represent money, they represent opportunity. A window into the past. A tangible piece of American history that has become a modern-day treasure. So don't let your coin jar collect dust. Don't ignore your father's old coin folder. And definitely don't toss that shiny old penny into the tip jar. Because the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny, specifically the one from the original U.S. Mint proof set, has been known to sell for $110,000 to $149,000. Yes, that's what it's worth, and if you asked me, that's not just a coin. That's a miracle in copper. Call to action, spoken as hype builds to climax. If you're blown away by this kind of hidden treasure, smash that like button right now. And if you want to learn about more valuable coins, secret errors, and ways to turn pocket change into real money, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. There's a whole world of riches hiding in your change drawer, and this 1940 Lincoln penny is just the beginning. Top 2. Have you ever looked at an old penny and thought, this can't be worth much? Well, think again, because what you're about to hear will change how you see pennies forever. There's a coin out there, an innocent-looking 1-cent piece from the year 1944, that could be sitting unnoticed in someone's collection, on a dusty shelf, in a forgotten drawer. And that little coin could be worth a fortune. Today, we're going to talk about the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, but not the regular one. Not the millions of bronze pennies made that year. Not the steel cent errors. We're diving into something much rarer, much more exclusive, and infinitely more valuable. This is the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a U.S. proof set. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, or even if you've been in the game a while, you might not realize what separates a normal 1944 penny from a proof coin. Let's break it down. Proof coins are not made for circulation. They are minted using a special process designed to create ultra-sharp detail and a mirror-like finish. They're carefully struck, often more than once, with polished dies on specially prepared planchets. These coins are flawless, pristine art pieces in metal, and in 1944, proof coins weren't being churned out in high numbers. This was wartime. Materials were scarce. The U.S. Mint produced very few of these stunning coins, and even fewer have survived in top condition. Most people have never even held a 1944 proof Lincoln cent in their hands. Most people don't even know it exists. But collectors? The serious ones? Oh, they know. And they are willing to pay big, very big, if they find one. This is not just a penny. This is a historic artifact. A treasure. A rare survivor from the peak of World War II, a year when the world was in chaos. But the U.S. Mint quietly struck a tiny number of these proof Lincoln Wheat cents, coins that today are worth far more than their weight in gold. So let me ask you, do you have a 1944 penny that looks different? One that shines brighter? One with perfect, crisp details and a mirror-like surface? If you do, you need to listen closely. Because there's a very real chance you're sitting on something truly rare. And if it's an actual 1944 proof coin, certified and graded in mint condition, then congratulations, you could be in for a payday that most people only dream of. You see, the coin market isn't just a hobby, it's a gold rush. And in the world of American numismatics, few coins are more desirable, more mysterious, and more valuable than a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a U.S. Mint proof set. This isn't speculation. This isn't hype. This is fact. In recent years, as more collectors race to find that one perfect coin to complete their sets, prices for rare proof coins from the 1940s have gone through the roof. Especially those in high grades, coins that have been carefully preserved for nearly a century. And now, the price of the 1944 Lincoln proof penny has officially reached shocking heights. A verified, graded 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny from an actual U.S. proof set, graded near perfection, has sold in recent times for between $110,000 and $145,000. That's not a typo. That's not a mistake. That is a 1-cent coin, worth over $110,000. Up to $145,000, all for a penny. And here's the wild part. It might be in your house right now. It might be in a proof set that your grandfather collected. It might be in a coin album you bought at a garage sale. It might be in a small plastic flip in a dusty box, hiding in plain sight. The key is knowing what to look for: the unmistakable quality of a proof coin, the year 1944, and certification from a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. If you've got that, you're not holding a coin, you're holding power. You're holding profit. You're holding a once-in-a-lifetime windfall. Collectors are hungry. Dealers are watching. Auctions are heating up. And when coins like this go up for sale, the bidding wars are fierce. Because everyone knows there are only a few of these out there, and owning one is like owning a piece of American treasure. So before you walk past that coin jar, before you sell that old proof set on eBay for a quick buck, check your collection. Look again. And don't overlook the 1944 penny, because in the right condition, and from the right set, it's worth not pennies, but pure profit. Once again, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny from a U.S. mint-proof set, in exceptional condition, has sold for between $110,000 and $145,000. Yes. That is what this coin is worth. So what are you waiting for? Go check your coins. Go check your proof sets. Your treasure might already be in your hands, and if you found this video helpful, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Because we're uncovering the hidden gems in your change, revealing the coins that could turn your collection into a goldmine. This is not just coin collecting. This is the hunt for real American treasure, and your 1944 Lincoln penny might just be the jackpot. Top 3. Have you ever thought that a single penny could change your life? 1 cent. That tiny copper coin most people ignore, toss into drawers, leave on sidewalks, or forget in old jars. But what if I told you that one particular penny from 1945, yes, 1945, might be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire savings? Listen up, because this video could literally put money in your pocket. Real money. Life-changing money. Today, we're talking about one of the rarest, most mysterious, and shockingly valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny from a U.S. mint-proof set. Now, before you think, "Oh, I've got some wheat pennies lying around," let me stop you right there. This isn't your everyday 1945 penny. We're not talking about the tens of millions of regular coins minted for circulation that year. We're talking about something special. Something elite. We're talking about a proof coin, a coin that was never meant for circulation, struck with extreme care, using polished dies and blank planchets, made for collectors, VIPs, and presentation purposes only. And here's the twist: the 1945 Lincoln proof wheat penny is extremely rare. So rare, in fact, that many coin experts debate whether all examples came directly from official proof sets, or whether some were special strikes or experimental pieces minted under the radar during the post-war years. What we know for sure is this: they exist, and they are worth a fortune. These coins have a razor-sharp strike, a deep mirror finish, a reflective surface so clear you could almost see your future in it. These coins weren't tossed into bags. They were carefully handled, stored, and preserved for decades. But here's where things get really exciting. Because while most people overlook these coins, thinking they're just common old copper cents, smart collectors, investors, and dealers are on the hunt. And when they find one, they pay big. This is where you come in. You have a 1945 Lincoln penny that looks different. Does it have a mirror-like surface? Perfectly struck details? A D mint mark under the date, meaning it was struck in Denver? Is it part of a U.S. mint-proof set? Or did it come from an old collector's estate, a sealed case, or an untouched envelope? If so, you could be sitting on a gold mine. A coin that goes way beyond collecting. This is a coin that could make you rich. Because coins like these aren't just rare, they're wanted. Dealers are lining up to find the best examples. Auction houses are listing them with starting bids that most people couldn't dream of spending on a penny. And collectors, they're going all in. Because owning a proof coin from 1945, with the D mint mark, is like owning a piece of secret American coinage history. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true. But it's not. Because one of these coins, an actual 1945 Lincoln D. Wheat penny from a U.S. proof strike, certified in near-perfect condition, has sold for a jaw-dropping sum. And I'm not talking about a few hundred, not even a few thousand, we're talking over $110,000, and in some cases, collectors have been willing to pay as much as $155,000 for this elusive coin. Yes. Let that number soak in. A 1-cent coin, worth between $110,000 and $155,000. All for a penny. That's the power of rarity. That's the power of proof. That's the power of knowing what you've got before someone else gets it first. So go check your collection. Dig through those old proof sets. Look at every wheat penny you've inherited or picked up over the years. Because this one? This could be the one. This isn't just a coin, it's a payday in copper. And if you think this was interesting, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There are more coins out there worth thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you might be holding one without even knowing it. So hit that like button. Smash that subscribe. Share this video with anyone who collects coins, shops flea markets, or has a box of pennies hiding in the attic. Because somewhere, out there right now, a 1945 Lincoln D. Wheat penny from a proof set is just waiting to be found. And if you're the lucky one to find it, you might just be cashing in for $110,000 to $155,000. 1 penny, 1 chance, 1 massive reward. So what are you waiting for? Top 4. Have you ever wondered if 1 penny could change your entire life? Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a single coin, a tiny copper Lincoln Wheat penny from the year 1946, could secretly be worth more than your car, your credit card balance, maybe even your entire bank account? No, this isn't a joke. It's not a rumor. And it's definitely not clickbait. Because what you're about to hear is 100% real. And it could be sitting inside your coin jar right now. We're talking about the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny. But not the kind you see every day. Not the ones pulled from circulation. This one is special. It's elite. It's ultra rare. This is the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny from a U.S. mint proof set, a coin so rare and so valuable, it's turning ordinary collectors into lucky winners overnight. Now let's rewind history for a moment. The year is 1946. America is coming out of World War II. Soldiers are returning home. Factories are switching from weapons back to consumer goods. And in the middle of this post-war shift, the U.S. Mint strikes a small batch of proof coins, flawless, hand-prepared pieces of American money made with care and precision for collectors. These proof coins weren't mass-produced. They weren't used in stores or handed out in change. They were made for display. For safekeeping. For history. And among them was one that's become the holy grail of copper coinage, the 1946 proof Lincoln Wheat penny. This isn't just a coin. It's a museum-quality artifact. It has razor-sharp detail. A glassy, mirror-like surface. A shine so perfect, it reflects light like polished metal. Every edge, every line, every curve of Lincoln's profile is carved with precision. And here's the thing, only a handful were ever made, and even fewer survived. Why? Because most people didn't realize what they had. These coins got lost. Damaged. Mishandled. Forgotten. Some were separated from their proof sets, tucked away in drawers, or sold at flea markets for pennies. But for those rare few who kept them in pristine condition, the payoff is insane, because in the world of coin collecting, rarity plus condition equals value. And the 1946 proof Lincoln Wheat penny checks all the boxes. It's rare. It's beautiful. And it's in high demand. Collectors are fighting for these coins. Dealers are scouring estates and auctions hoping to get their hands on one. Online bids are going wild. The competition is fierce. And the prices? They're unbelievable. So now the big question, do you have one? Maybe it's in an old coin album your grandparents left behind. Maybe it's tucked into a plastic case in your father's collection. Maybe you picked one up at a garage sale, not even realizing what it was. It's time to look again. Because if you have a 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny that shines differently, that has deep mirrored fields and ultra-crisp edges, you might be holding the kind of coin that serious collectors dream of finding. And if your coin is the real deal, a proof strike, certified by experts, preserved in near-perfect condition, then brace yourself, because coins like this have shattered expectations at auction. They don't sell for $20. Not even $100. Not even $1,000. One of these coins, yes, a 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a real U.S. Mint proof set, has sold in recent years for a staggering price. We're talking between $110,000 and $144,000. Let that sink in. A single penny, worth more than most luxury cars, more than the average college tuition, more than what many people make in an entire year. And it could be in your collection right now. So don't wait. Don't assume it's just another coin. Get it checked. Get it graded. Get it protected. Because the moment you realize what you're holding, everything changes. That penny is no longer 1 cent, it's a ticket to financial freedom. It's the ultimate collector's prize. It's the copper jackpot. So take a closer look at your 1946 Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Look for signs of proof quality. Mirror finish. Razor detail. And if you find one, congratulations. You're no longer holding a coin, you're holding a potential fortune. Because a 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a genuine U.S. Mint proof set has been valued and sold for a mind-blowing sum ranging from $110,000 to $144,000. Yes. That's what it's worth. Don't underestimate small things. Don't overlook old coins. Because sometimes, the smallest piece of history holds the biggest surprise of your life. And this 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny might just be the one that makes you rich. Top 5. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but what if it was hiding in your pocket? Or buried in a dusty coin box in your attic, disguised as a simple, harmless-looking penny? Sounds insane, right? Well, get ready. Because today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping, wallet-melting discoveries in American coin collecting history, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a U.S. Mint proof set. And let me tell you right now, this is not your average penny. This coin, this tiny copper disc, could make you richer than you ever imagined. This isn't just about coin collecting. This is about turning 1 cent into 6 figures. Let's get straight to it. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. First struck in 1909, it ran until 1958, and those classic wheat stalks on the reverse side are burned into every collector's memory. But in 1951, the U.S. Mint produced something far more exclusive than the standard issue penny, something for serious collectors only. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny proof coin, not meant for circulation, not found in loose change. This coin was made in a limited production run, carefully struck at the Philadelphia Mint with specially polished dies on highly prepared planchets. The result? A breathtaking, mirror-like coin with razor-sharp detail. So stunning it looks like it was frozen in time. These proof coins were sold in sets, and even then, only to collectors who knew to ask for them. Many were lost, broken up, or separated from their sets. But a few, a precious few, survived. And here's the kicker. The 1951 proof penny doesn't just look good, it performs even better when it hits the auction block. Why? Because of its rarity, condition, and demand. There's a frenzy in the coin collecting world right now for high-grade mid-century proof coins. And when it comes to the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, collectors are going wild. Why? Because only a handful of these coins remain in pristine condition, original surfaces, no scratches, no marks, no wear. And when a flawless one surfaces, guess what happens? The bids explode. Dealers fight. Collectors get desperate. Prices skyrocket. You may be holding one and not even realize it. You may have inherited it, bought a proof set years ago, or picked one up in a flea market or estate sale. If you're staring at a 1951 penny right now and it gleams with that unmistakable mirror-like shine and sharp features, it could be the real deal. So what's it really worth? Get ready to have your mind blown. Because a certified, museum-grade, untouched 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, pulled from a genuine U.S. Mint proof set and graded at the highest levels, has sold for a shocking price. And I don't mean a couple $100. I don't even mean a few thousand. A single 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny has been sold for a heart-stopping amount between $110,000 and $138,000. Yes. You heard that right. 1 penny. 1 cent worth more than an entire year's salary. That's the magic of numismatics. That's the power of rarity, history, and proof. Quality perfection. So here's what you need to do. Go dig through that old proof set. Check your father's coin collection. Look at every 1951 penny you have, but don't just glance at it. Examine it. Look for that mirror finish. That perfect detail. No mint mark, because in 1951, the proof pennies were struck in Philadelphia and don't carry a letter. And if it's a true proof coin in pristine condition, you might just be holding a six-figure piece of American history. This isn't just a collector's dream. It's a financial reality. 1 penny. Worth between $110,000 and $138,000. So now the question is, are you going to let it sit in a box, forgotten? Or are you going to get it graded, certified, and listed, and cash in? Because one single proof penny from 1951 could be the greatest payday of your life, and that's not hype. That's the truth buried in copper. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure discoveries, and share this with anyone who's ever saved an old coin. Because somewhere out there, a 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny is waiting to be discovered, and it could be yours. Top 6. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, it's just a coin? You might want to rethink that. Because today, we're about to uncover one of the most astonishing secrets hiding in plain sight in American coin collecting. Something that could turn a tiny, ordinary-looking 1-cent coin into an absolute cash explosion. Yes, we're talking about a real coin, a real year, and a real value that's going to leave your jaw on the floor. This is the story of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny. But not just any version of it. We're talking about an ultra-rare, proof-quality penny, one that didn't just slip through the cracks of history. It was hidden, shielded, and now only known by elite collectors and serious coin dealers. And if you're lucky enough to have one in your hands, you could be sitting on a windfall most people only dream about. Let's take a deep dive into what makes this coin so rare, so mysterious, and so mind-blowingly valuable. First off, the Lincoln Wheat penny is an icon. Minted from 1909 to 1958, it's one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. But by the time we reach 1952, the U.S. Mint was doing something different, something exceptional, for only a select few. That year, the Mint issued special proof coins, crafted not for everyday use, but for collectors. These coins weren't handed out in stores or dropped into cash registers. No, these were premium coins, made with polished dies, shiny blank planchets, and struck with extra pressure to create flawless detail and mirror-like surfaces. These proof coins were typically minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and here's where the twist comes in. Because very, very rarely, a 1952 wheat penny has surfaced bearing a DE mint mark, meaning it was struck in Denver. Now let's get something straight, officially. No proof coins were supposed to be made at the Denver Mint in 1952. But a few examples have appeared, mysteriously, privately, in proof-like condition, with a clear D mark under the date. Collectors call these coins anomalies, phantoms, experimental strikes, or even accidental masterpieces. Whatever you call them, one thing is clear: they are incredibly rare. And they are worth a staggering amount of money. So here's the part that should have your full attention. If you happen to own a 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny with a DE mint mark that was clearly struck with proof, like quality, sharp edges, glassy surfaces, strong contrast between fields and devices, you may be holding something extremely valuable. Most people have no idea this coin exists. It's not just about the year. It's not just about the mint mark. It's about the combination of the two, with the mirror-like, ultra-precise features that only a proof or proof-like strike can offer. These coins are so rare. You could search for years and never come across one. And that's exactly why they've become one of the hottest hidden treasures in American numismatics. So what happens when one of these coins shows up at an auction? Total chaos. Coin collectors, high-level investors, and elite dealers all enter bidding wars, desperate to get their hands on this piece of minting mystery. Why? Because it's more than just copper. It's history. It's a mistake. It's perfection. It's a golden goose wrapped in a tiny brown shell. The moment a high-grade, certified example of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof strike or proof like Seth hits the spotlight, everything changes. We're not talking about a few bucks. We're not talking about pocket change. We're talking about a financial game changer. So now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. What is this coin actually worth? How much could you get if you found one today and had it professionally authenticated and graded? Are you ready? Because one of these 1952 Lincoln Wheat pennies, authentic, from an actual U.S. mint-proof quality strike, preserved in near-flawless condition, has sold at major auction houses for a shocking amount between $110,000 and $145,000. Let that soak in. That's right. 1 penny could be worth more than a year's salary, more than a luxury car, more than your mortgage, more than some people's entire retirement plan. And here's the wildest part, you might already have it, right now, sitting in a coin case, stored in a forgotten album, hidden inside an old US mint-proof set you inherited years ago and never opened. So here's what you need to do immediately. Go check your 1952 pennies. If you find one with a DE mint mark, and if it has that shiny, glassy, mirror-like surface, you could be holding a coin that most collectors will never even see in their lifetime. Get it examined by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not clean it. Do not handle it roughly. This is a coin that could change your life. Because that 1 cent, that tiny little piece of copper from 1952, struck in Denver with proof-like precision, might just be worth $110,000 to $145,000. Yes. A penny. That's the treasure. That's the magic of rare coins. And that's why you never, ever overlook the power of a single coin. Smash that like button if you want to see more incredible coin finds like this. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next big money discovery. And share this with anyone who has a coin collection. They might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Because somewhere right now, a 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny is waiting to be found. And if it's in your hands, congratulations, you just struck gold, in copper. Top 7. What if I told you that a tiny copper coin sitting in your drawer could be worth more than your entire bank account, more than your car, more than your student loans, more than your entire paycheck for the year? Yes, you heard me right. Because hidden in the world of coin collecting is one of the most underrated, overlooked, and dangerously valuable coins in U.S. mint history, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny. But not just any version. This is the 1953 proof penny, struck with mirror perfection, unmatched detail, and a finish so flawless. It looks like it was never meant to be touched. Why? Because it wasn't. This coin didn't roll off some massive production line to land in pocket change. It wasn't made for your grandma's purse or a vending machine in a 1950s diner. No. This coin was made for collectors, made in limited numbers, preserved in sealed U.S. mint-proof sets, struck with precision, care, and a level of craftsmanship you just don't see anymore. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Because while most people look at a 1953 penny and shrug it off as just another old coin, true collectors, serious investors, and auction house insiders know the truth. This penny is a silent jackpot. One that could be hiding in plain sight. The 1953 proof Lincoln Wheat penny is made from gleaming copper, but it shines like gold in the world of high-end numismatics. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, so there's no mint mark. But what makes it so valuable is the ultra-low mintage, the condition, and the desperate demand from collectors. And get this, these coins aren't just rare, they're almost impossible to find in perfect condition. Why? Because many were mishandled over the decades. Others were separated from their original proof sets. Some were lightly circulated by accident. But for the lucky few who held on to them, flawless, untouched, sealed, your moment has arrived. The market has never been hotter. Coin values across the U.S. are exploding, and collectors are hunting like never before. Everyone is trying to get their hands on high-grade 1950s proof pennies, especially the 1953 wheat cent, and if your coin meets the grade, if your 1953 proof penny still has its deep mirror-like finish, razor-sharp details, and pristine copper luster, then what you're holding in your hands is not a penny. It's a treasure chest. Let me be crystal clear. This isn't about hype. It's not about exaggeration. This is about real money, real collectors, and real auctions where these coins are fetching absolutely unbelievable prices. So what exactly is the 1953 proof Lincoln Wheat Penny worth? What happens when the right coin, in the right condition, from the right proof set, lands in the hands of the right buyer? The numbers will shock you. Because a single 1953 proof Lincoln Wheat Penny, graded at the highest levels, verified, and sealed, has been sold for as much as $110,000 to $136,000. Yes, 0.1 cent, worth more than $100,000. Let that sink in. A coin that's smaller than a bottle cap, lighter than a sheet of paper, older than most people watching this video, and it could be sitting inside a coin album, in a box, on a shelf, in your house. Now the only question left is, do you have one? Did you inherit a proof set? Did you buy a 1950s collection at a garage sale? Have you ever come across a penny from 1953 that looks different, cleaner, shinier, sharper? Because if that's the case, if your coin came from a US proof set and was never touched, never circulated, never damaged, you might be looking at one of the most valuable coins in America. So don't wait. Don't assume it's worthless. Don't treat it like ordinary change. Get it graded. Get it certified. Get it insured. Because the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a genuine US proof set, in near perfect condition, has been valued and sold for a staggering sum between $110,000 and $136,000. That's not a dream. That's a real number. So go check your collection. Check your safe. Check your boxes. Check your drawers. Because your fortune might not be in stocks, savings, or real estate. It might just be a penny, waiting for the right person to recognize its true value. And that person could be you. Smash that like button if you love coin content. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss the next rare treasure, and share this video with every coin lover you know. Because somewhere right now, someone's holding this coin, and they don't even know they're holding a six-figure payday. Top 8. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin, struck over half a century ago, could be worth more than your entire savings account? No, this isn't a fantasy. This isn't a collector's exaggeration. This is cold, hard copper truth. Because today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious, highly hunted, and shockingly valuable pennies in American coin history, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set. Yes, you heard that right. Not just the famous 1955 double-die penny, which most people know about. We're talking about a far rarer version. One that was never supposed to exist, yet somehow does. And if you're lucky enough to own it, or smart enough to go looking for it, this tiny copper coin could become your biggest financial discovery ever. Let's talk about what makes this penny so unbelievably special. In 1955, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln Wheat pennies, most of them normal, circulated coins. These were the everyday, run-of-the-mill cents that filled jars, drawers, and pockets across America. But alongside the regular issues, a much smaller number of proof coins were struck in Philadelphia, designed specifically for collectors. These proof coins were struck with mirror-like surfaces, sharp, polished dies, and flawless attention to detail. They were sealed inside proof sets and never meant for circulation. Now here's where the mystery begins. Proof coins were not struck at the Denver Mint in 1955. In fact, no, Mintmark proof coins were officially authorized that year. But over time, a handful of 1955 Lincoln Wheat pennies have surfaced bearing a Mintmark, and not just regular circulated coins. Some of these coins have proof-like characteristics, dazzling mirror finishes, deep strike clarity, and stunning detail. They stand out in a way that screams, this is not an ordinary penny. So where did they come from? That's the question that's baffled numismatists and collectors for years. Were these test strikes? Mint errors? Experimental issues? Or was there an undocumented proof run at the Denver Mint that slipped past the records? No one knows for sure. But one thing is certain: these coins are ridiculously rare, insanely valuable, and when one shows up, the entire coin world takes notice. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever inherited an old proof set? Have you bought a bag of old coins from a garage sale? Have you ever found a 1955 penny that just looked different? Because if you're holding a 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny with a DE mint mark and it has that proof-like mirror surface, razor-sharp edges, and flawless fields, then you might be sitting on a six-figure prize. And I mean that literally. These coins are so rare and so mysterious that when one surfaces at a high-grade level, collectors go absolutely wild. Auctions get heated. Dealers start bidding wars. And the final prices? Let's just say they'll leave your wallet shaking. This isn't just coin collecting. This is treasure hunting. So here's what you need to do right now. Go grab your 1955 pennies. Get under a bright light. Use a magnifier. Look for the DE mint mark. Check for mirror-like surfaces. Examine the strike. Does it look unusually sharp? Does it gleam like no other penny you've seen? If so, don't touch it. Don't clean it. And definitely don't toss it back in the change jar, because this could be the moment your 1-cent coin turns into a life-changing windfall. You see, a genuine 1955 Lincoln D. Wheat penny, with proof characteristics and certified by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC in top condition, has reached an astonishing value in today's coin market. So what's the number? What is this rare penny actually worth? A 1955 Lincoln D. Wheat penny, from a proof set or bearing a legitimate proof strike with Denver mint mark, has sold for a jaw-dropping price between $110,000 and $140,000. Yes, 0.1 cent now worth six figures. Think about that. Let it settle in. A tiny copper coin, struck when Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, when Elvis was just getting started, when America was still reeling from post-war glory, and now it's a powerful investment worth more than luxury cars, dream vacations, or an entire college degree. That's the kind of coin that transforms lives. And it could be sitting in a box in your attic. It could be buried in a proof set you've forgotten about. Or it could be hiding in plain sight, right there in your own hands. So don't ignore your old coins. Don't overlook just another penny. Because the truth is, there's no such thing as just a penny. Not when it's a 1955 Lincoln D. Wheat penny with proof origins. Smash that like button if you love rare coin content. Subscribe for more shocking coin values and mysterious discoveries. And share this video with every collector, hoarder, grandparent, or antique lover you know. Because someone, somewhere, is holding one of these right now, and they have no idea it could be worth $110,000 to $140,000. Will it be you? Let's find out. Top 9. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, and knowing that it could change your financial future forever. I'm not talking about some rare collector's item, or a vintage artifact that's only worth a few $100s. No. This is something way bigger. What if that coin could be worth as much as your house? Your car? Your entire year's salary? The coin we're talking about today is the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny. But this isn't just any 1956 penny. No, this is the proof version, a true hidden treasure that few people know exists and even fewer understand the true value of. These proof coins, produced by the U.S. Mint, were never meant for general circulation. They were meticulously struck with mirror-like finishes, deep contrast, and flawless details. They were made only for collectors, preserved in sets, carefully protected, and most importantly, extremely rare. And it's one of these 1956 Lincoln Wheat pennies from an actual proof set that could turn your life upside down. If you've ever inherited an old collection, or even just bought a box of pennies from a yard sale, here's the million-dollar question. Do you have one of these coins? Because if you do, hold on to your seat. Here's what makes the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set so incredibly valuable. In 1956, the U.S. Mint produced millions of regular circulation Lincoln Wheat pennies. They flooded the nation's coin rolls and filled cash registers, grocery stores, and pocket change. But only a very select few proof coins were produced for collectors that year. And not just any proof coin. These were specially struck to have superior quality, perfectly crafted with polished dies and high-quality planchets. When you look at these coins under a magnifying glass, you'll see the perfect detail and smooth surfaces that prove it's something much more than just pocket change. Now, this is where things get really interesting. If you own a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a proof finish, especially one that's in high-grade condition, you're sitting on a very rare and valuable treasure. So let me ask you this. Have you ever stumbled across a penny that seems just too perfect to be true? Maybe you've checked your old coin collection and noticed one that seems shiny, flawless, and with sharp edges. Maybe it's got the details of the Lincoln Memorial so crisp it looks like it just came out of the mint. What you may have is the jackpot. When these 1956 proof pennies are authenticated and graded, the value skyrockets. Why? Because they are extremely scarce, and collectors know it. Perfect condition proof coins like this are in high demand from elite collectors and investors who are desperate to get their hands on them. Now, here's the big reveal. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, when it's in top-tier condition, can be worth a staggering amount of money. We're talking about a coin that could fetch $110,000 to $135,000. Yes, that's over $100,000 for just one penny. This is no ordinary coin. This is a masterpiece. And when these proof coins make their way into high-stakes auctions, they shatter records. Imagine owning a coin that could pay off your mortgage, buy you a brand new car, or even set you up for life. What makes this penny so rare is that, even though the U.S. Mint produced proof sets in 1956, only a handful of these perfect pennies exist today. Most were lost, damaged, or spent. But if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare beauties, sitting in a drawer, hidden in an old collection, or even forgotten in an album, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins in America. So what should you do if you think you've found this hidden gem? First, don't touch it too much. Don't clean it. Don't rub it. Don't handle it in a way that could damage its pristine surface. The condition of the coin is everything when it comes to its value. Next, get it professionally graded. The top grading services like PCGS or NGC will examine your coin and assign it a grade based on its quality and preservation. The higher the grade, the higher the value. And when you get it back with a high grade score, you can start looking for the right buyers. Elite collectors and dealers are always on the lookout for coins like this, and when one shows up at an auction, it often leads to bidding wars, where the price shoots up to shocking amounts. Imagine being the person holding the winning bid on a coin that you didn't even think was worth anything just a few minutes ago. Now let's revisit the real question here. How much could your 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set actually be worth? A high-grade, authenticated proof version of this coin has been known to sell for $110,000 to $135,000. Let that sink in. 1 penny, a tiny, copper coin from 1956, could be worth more than most people's entire life savings. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the power of rare coins that defy expectations. And that's exactly why you should never overlook an old penny or a forgotten coin collection again. Go grab your coins now. Search through that box in your attic. Check the old albums, the dusty jars, the family heirlooms. Because you just might find that hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this wild ride, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share this with anyone who collects pennies, because they might have their very own $100,000 plus treasure waiting to be found. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting those coins. Top 10. What if I told you that the penny you've been overlooking, the one sitting in a drawer or a dusty coin jar, could actually be worth more than your car, or even your entire savings? It sounds too good to be true, right? But that's exactly the reality for a rare gem from US coin history that's been hiding in plain sight. And today, we're going to reveal the secret behind one of the most valuable pennies you may have never heard of, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But wait. This isn't just any regular penny from 1956. No, no, no. This is the proof version, a flawlessly struck, mirror-like masterpiece that was never meant for circulation. And the crazy part? It could be worth more than six figures, if you have the right one in the right condition. Let's dive into the story of this incredible coin and find out what makes it so astonishingly valuable. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a proof coin? Well, proof coins were specially struck by the US Mint to show off their craftsmanship. These coins weren't made for spending. They weren't made for the general public. They were only for collectors, designed to be the perfect example of US Mint artistry. The details on these proof coins are so crisp, so precise, that they practically shine when viewed under the right light. In 1956, the US Mint produced proof sets, highly polished and carefully packaged collections of coins from that year. But only a tiny fraction of those proof coins were Lincoln Wheat Pennies. So imagine this: you have a coin from a limited run set, made for collectors only, carefully preserved in a proof set, with unparalleled beauty and sharpness. Now, here's where the real magic happens. If you own one of these rare proof coins from the 1956 proof set, then you're sitting on a fortune. Why? Because over time, many of these proof coins were lost, damaged, or separated from their proof sets. So, finding one of these 1956 Lincoln Wheat Pennies in excellent condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. And when one surfaces, it catches the eye of serious collectors. You don't just have a normal penny from 1956. You have a piece of American history, one of the most sought-after coins in the entire numismatic world. But here's the question: do you have one? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're flipping through an old album, browsing through a collection you've inherited or picked up at a garage sale. And suddenly, there it is. You spot that shiny, mirror-like penny. The surface is pristine. The detail is unbelievably sharp. There's something about it that makes it stand out from all the other coins you've seen before. If that coin is a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, and if it has been kept in top condition, then you've got gold. Now, it's time to talk about how much this coin is really worth. When a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set is graded at a high level, its value skyrockets. We're talking about a coin that can easily fetch anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Yes, you read that right. More than $100,000 for a single penny. This isn't some random estimate. These values come from actual auctions, where collectors have fought tooth and nail to get their hands on these rare coins. The 1956 proof penny is so incredibly rare and desirable that even pennies that were graded in top condition have reached astounding prices. So, how do you know if you've found one of these valuable coins? The key is in the details. Take a good look at your coin. If it has that mirror-like finish, those sharp, crisp details, and perfect design, then you're likely holding a highly valuable treasure. But it doesn't end there. The coin's grade will determine its final worth. If it's graded by an official grading service like PCGS or NGC and the grade is high, we're talking about proof 65 or better, then the value can soar to jaw-dropping levels. What you've got is no longer just a penny. It's a masterpiece, a collector's holy grail. So, if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, your next step is to get it professionally graded. Because when that grade comes back as high, you might just find yourself sitting on a small fortune. Imagine this: you send the coin off to be graded, and the final result shows that you have one of the finest surviving examples of a 1956 proof penny. At that point, your life could change forever. You could be looking at a check for over $100,000, all for something that cost just 1 cent to produce back in 1956. But if you think it's all about finding just any 1956 proof penny, you'd be mistaken. Not all of them are worth that kind of money. It's about finding the perfect one, the coin that hasn't been damaged, the one that's been well preserved, and the one that's still pristine enough to fetch top dollar at an auction. So, what should you do now? Go check your collection. Search through your old pennies, your coin sets, and your loose change. Get out a magnifying glass, inspect the surface, and see if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set. It could very well be the hidden treasure you've been searching for, Remember, this is no ordinary coin. This is the real deal, one that could be worth anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Your luck could be just a coin flip away. Thanks for watching. If you're feeling lucky, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more coin tips and secrets, and share this with every coin collector you know. Because one of them might be sitting on a $100,000 treasure, and they don't even know it yet. Top 10. What if I told you that the penny you've been overlooking, the one sitting in a drawer or a dusty coin jar, could actually be worth more than your car, or even your entire savings? It sounds too good to be true, right? But that's exactly the reality for a rare gem from US coin history that's been hiding in plain sight. And today, we're going to reveal the secret behind one of the most valuable pennies you may have never heard of, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But wait. This isn't just any regular penny from 1956. No. This is the proof version, a flawlessly struck, mirror-like masterpiece that was never meant for circulation. And the crazy part? It could be worth more than six figures, if you have the right one in the right condition. Let's dive into the story of this incredible coin and find out what makes it so astonishingly valuable. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a proof coin? Well, proof coins were specially struck by the US Mint to show off their craftsmanship. These coins weren't made for spending. They weren't made for the general public. They were only for collectors, designed to be the perfect example of US Mint artistry. The details on these proof coins are so crisp, so precise, that they practically shine when viewed under the right light. In 1956, the US Mint produced proof sets, highly polished and carefully packaged collections of coins from that year. But only a tiny fraction of those proof coins were Lincoln Wheat Pennies. So imagine this: you have a coin from a limited run set, made for collectors only, carefully preserved in a proof set, with unparalleled beauty and sharpness. Now, here's where the real magic happens. If you own one of these rare proof coins from the 1956 proof set, then you're sitting on a fortune. Why? Because over time, many of these proof coins were lost, damaged, or separated from their proof sets. So, finding one of these 1956 Lincoln Wheat Pennies in excellent condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. And when one surfaces, it catches the eye of serious collectors. You don't just have a normal penny from 1956. You have a piece of American history, one of the most sought-after coins in the entire numismatic world. But here's the question. Do you have one? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're flipping through an old album, browsing through a collection you've inherited or picked up at a garage sale. And suddenly, there it is. You spot that shiny, mirror-like penny. The surface is pristine. The detail is unbelievably sharp. There's something about it that makes it stand out from all the other coins you've seen before. If that coin is a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, and if it has been kept in top condition, then you've got gold. Now, it's time to talk about how much this coin is really worth. When a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set is graded at a high level, its value skyrockets. We're talking about a coin that can easily fetch anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Yes, you read that right. More than $100,000 for a single penny. This isn't some random estimate. These values come from actual auctions, where collectors have fought tooth and nail to get their hands on these rare coins. The 1956 proof penny is so incredibly rare and desirable that even pennies that were graded in top condition have reached astounding prices. So, how do you know if you've found one of these valuable coins? The key is in the details. Take a good look at your coin. If it has that mirror-like finish, those sharp, crisp details, and perfect design, then you're likely holding a highly valuable treasure. But it doesn't end there. The coin's grade will determine its final worth. If it's graded by an official grading service like PCGS or NGC and the grade is high, we're talking about proof 65 or better, then the value can soar to jaw-dropping levels. What you've got is no longer just a penny. It's a masterpiece, a collector's holy grail. So, if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from a proof set, your next step is to get it professionally graded. Because when that grade comes back as high, you might just find yourself sitting on a small fortune. Imagine this: you send the coin off to be graded, and the final result shows that you have one of the finest surviving examples of a 1956 proof penny. At that point, your life could change forever. You could be looking at a check for over $100,000, all for something that cost just 1 cent to produce back in 1956. But if you think it's all about finding just any 1956 proof penny, you'd be mistaken. Not all of them are worth that kind of money. It's about finding the perfect one, the coin that hasn't been damaged, the one that's been well preserved, and the one that's still pristine enough to fetch top dollar at an auction. So, what should you do now? Go check your collection. Search through your old pennies, your coin sets, and your loose change. Get out a magnifying glass, inspect the surface, and see if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set. It could very well be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. Remember, this is no ordinary coin. This is the real deal, one that could be worth anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Your luck could be just a coin flip away. Thanks for watching. If you're feeling lucky, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more coin tips and secrets, and share this with every coin collector you know. Because one of them might be sitting on a $100,000 treasure, and they don't even know it yet. Top 10. What if I told you that the penny you've been overlooking, the one sitting in a drawer or a dusty coin jar, could actually be worth more than your car, or even your entire savings? It sounds too good to be true, right? But that's exactly the reality for a rare gem from US coin history that's been hiding in plain sight. And today, we're going to reveal the secret behind one of the most valuable pennies you may have never heard of, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But wait. This isn't just any regular penny from 1956. No. This is the proof version, a flawlessly struck, mirror-like masterpiece that was never meant for circulation. And the crazy part? It could be worth more than 6 figures, if you have the right one in the right condition. Let's dive into the story of this incredible coin and find out what makes it so astonishingly valuable. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a proof coin? Well, proof coins were specially struck by the US Mint to show off their craftsmanship. These coins weren't made for spending. They weren't made for the general public. They were only for collectors, designed to be the perfect example of US Mint artistry. The details on these proof coins are so crisp, so precise, that they practically shine when viewed under the right light. In 1956, the US Mint produced proof sets, highly polished and carefully packaged collections of coins from that year. But only a tiny fraction of those proof coins were Lincoln Wheat pennies. So imagine this: you have a coin from a limited run set, made for collectors only, carefully preserved in a proof set, with unparalleled beauty and sharpness. Now, here's where the real magic happens. If you own one of these rare proof coins from the 1956 proof set, then you're sitting on a fortune. Why? Because over time, many of these proof coins were lost, damaged, or separated from their proof sets. So, finding one of these 1956 Lincoln Wheat pennies in excellent condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. And when one surfaces, it catches the eye of serious collectors. You don't just have a normal penny from 1956. You have a piece of American history, one of the most sought-after coins in the entire numismatic world. But here's the question: do you have one? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're flipping through an old album, browsing through a collection you've inherited or picked up at a garage sale. And suddenly, there it is. You spot that shiny, mirror-like penny. The surface is pristine. The detail is unbelievably sharp. There's something about it that makes it stand out from all the other coins you've seen before. If that coin is a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set, and if it has been kept in top condition, then you've got gold. Now, it's time to talk about how much this coin is really worth. When a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set is graded at a high level, its value skyrockets. We're talking about a coin that can easily fetch anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Yes, you read that right. More than $100,000 for a single penny. This isn't some random estimate. These values come from actual auctions, where collectors have fought tooth and nail to get their hands on these rare coins. The 1956 proof penny is so incredibly rare and desirable that even pennies that were graded in top condition have reached astounding prices. So, how do you know if you've found one of these valuable coins? The key is in the details. Take a good look at your coin. If it has that mirror-like finish, those sharp, crisp details, and perfect design, then you're likely holding a highly valuable treasure. But it doesn't end there. The coin's grade will determine its final worth. If it's graded by an official grading service like PCGS or NGC and the grade is high, we're talking about proof 65 or better, then the value can soar to jaw-dropping levels. What you've got is no longer just a penny. It's a masterpiece, a collector's holy grail. So, if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set, your next step is to get it professionally graded. Because when that grade comes back as high, you might just find yourself sitting on a small fortune. Imagine this: you send the coin off to be graded, and the final result shows that you have one of the finest surviving examples of a 1956 proof penny. At that point, your life could change forever. You could be looking at a check for over $100,000, all for something that cost just 1 cent to produce back in 1956. But if you think it's all about finding just any 1956 proof penny, you'd be mistaken. Not all of them are worth that kind of money. It's about finding the perfect one, the coin that hasn't been damaged, the one that's been well preserved, and the one that's still pristine enough to fetch top dollar at an auction. So, what should you do now? Go check your collection. Search through your old pennies, your coin sets, and your loose change. Get out a magnifying glass, inspect the surface, and see if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny from a proof set. It could very well be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. Remember, this is no ordinary coin. This is the real deal, one that could be worth anywhere from $110,000 to $133,000. Your luck could be just a coin flip away. Thanks for watching. If you're feeling lucky, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more coin tips and secrets, and share this with every coin collector you know. Because one of them might be sitting on a $100,000 treasure, and they don't even know it yet.